Hi beauties, it's Jean Piersanti with Stampin' Up, and I am your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the United States, and it is the first Wednesday of the month, which means Global Stampers. And today I'm going to be stamping with other stampers from around the globe, and I represent the United States. So we're going to be using the mini catalog, and we were asked to choose our favorite suite and showcase that. So my favorite suite is the Fancy Flora, and it's got so many great florals in there. It's got some great designer series paper, some ribbon, which is in a pool party, and it's a grosgrain ribbon. And then we have some iridescent pastel gems. So pretty. And then this is some fine shimmer paper. So those are very shimmery papers there. We also have the two-tone Flora, which comes with its own set of dies. And then the Something Fancy, which comes with its own set of dies as well. So you can get the whole entire suite by adding just this number 160431. And in the United States, it's only $139.50. So you just grab one and you get everything that's in the suite. So I'm going to be focusing on this stamp set today, Something Fancy. And I want you to notice all of these cards. They're all beautiful, floral. I love flowers, but today I'm just going to be going with something that is not floral. We're going to be doing more of I don't know, have you ever heard of the artist Mondrian? He kind of used sleek lines. I am very familiar with his work. And so I'm going to be using the Something Fancy. And I'm going to be making a thank you card for one of my customers. And they come with dies as well, so you can get the bundle. If you don't want to choose the whole entire suite, you can just make your own, pick and choose what you want. So I ended up with this bundle, and I also it also has this it's not really a hexagon, because if you see, this side is a little bit shorter than this side. So what I did is I wanted to use some of my scraps, so I got out just some scraps here, and I took my, well, for lack of a better word, hexagon, and I cut these out. So I cut out 9 of them, I believe. So 3 of each color, and I will show you. I am going to be using a basic white for my base, so let's go ahead and get that all situated, get that ready to go. I am also going to be using a basic black. Now my basic white, that is an 8.5 by 11, just cut right in half at 5.5, and then scored at 4 1/4. So my basic black, I went 1/4 of an inch shorter, and that is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Now I'm going to take my basic black, and I'm taking those hexagons, and I am lining them up. So I'm going to line up my first one, and then I'm going to line up my second one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this kind of toward the bottom so that I get this in the middle. And then I'm going to put the third one here and get that nice and lined up. And then I continue doing that. So, but I do them in separate order. So on this line, I'm going to put a yellow, and then a Calypso Coral, and then the Bermuda Bay. And so then on this line, I'm going to put the Calypso Coral, the Bermuda Bay, and the Crushed Curry. So it's going to make a nice little sheet. And all I do is I put them down with glue, and it ends up like this. Isn't that cute? So you can use that card just as is, but I like the honeycomb look of it. So I'm going to also take out my beehive embossing folder, and we're going to prepare this second layer. And I want it to be on the embossing side. So I'm looking here to see what side I want. So I'm going with the Stampin' Up side, and that's going to give me some honeycombs. So I'm going to take my stamp cut and emboss machine. Now this does not fit through the mini, so I'm going to take the larger one. I know it's hard to see, but we will get there. And then I'm going to take my number 1 plate and then my honeycomb and then my number 4 plate. And because that is a 3D folder, that's how I know which plates to use. It tells me on the number 1 plate which plate I'm supposed to use when I'm using different dies. So I will show you here. I'm using the 3D, so I look for the 3D embossing folder. I go over here. I use the 1, which has a little number 1 on it. And I use the 4, which has a little number 4 on it. So it does everything for me. So simple, so easy. And then let's look at this. And now I've got the honeycombs with honeycombs. Isn't that cool? So it just did it all together. Everything fits nice and well together. And again, that was the Hive 3D embossing folder. So because I want that to be my second layer, I also want to add some more here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get that thank you. And you guys, I'm using all scraps. Everything's scraps, okay? So I'm getting out my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I'm getting out my thank you stamp. And what I love about dies and punches is that you do not have to even look to see what you're going to be stamping, like what direction, because all you're going to do is once you stamp it, that is when you can decide where you want this, and you're going to get it exactly where you want it each time. So I go like that, and then what I do is I just take a piece of washi tape. This happens to be all fancy and glittery, but it is washi tape. This was from the holiday catalog, and it is not available right now, but that's why I can use it for an item such as this. So now this will fit through my mini, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my mini. I am going to just use a regular die. So again, I look here. This is for die cutting, so I'm going to use 1 number 1 and 2 number 2s. Don't worry that they look so well used. That is actually the way it's supposed to look. Those are my cutting mats. So now I've got that lined up. I put my 2 number 2s on there and run that through. If you have not heard about the amazing join special right now, you guys, you can get one of these for only $30. How do you do that? When you join in the US for only $99, you get to choose $175 worth of product. That is a deal all on its own. But you know what? The mini, if you add another $30 to your sign up, you can choose either the little mini that I showed you or the mini stamp cut and emboss machine in a boho blue, which I'm assuming is going to be one of the new in colors that are coming out. So I just need to get rid of that. Got a little bit of glossy glitter on there. So you're going to end up with the little thank you also on your little hectagon. And remember, these sides are, one's a little bit smaller than the long sides. So I wanted to make sure that I used it in the same direction. So these are going the same direction. And I'll show you that they are not the same exact size. You see that? All right, so let's go ahead and get finished up. So anyways, I was telling you about the Join Special. And if you are interested, if you are in the United States, you can go ahead and click the link in my description. And I would love to have you on the Stampin' Beauties team. I am then now taking some of the gingham ribbon here. And I'm going to put a piece of Stampin' Seal. Just like that. And then I'm going to add some Stampin' Seal to the edges here. Oh, I came to the end, but that's okay. I was only going to add it to the edges because this is a embossed layer. I want to make sure that it sticks all the way over. So I do want to have some of the glue as well, because that's going to fill in to those little nooks and crannies. So I'm going to grab my base and we're going to attach this. And I'm going to line it up so that we have 1/8 of an inch around all the sides. And if it's cut properly, it should be nice. And you see how it is nice and flat there. So that was on purpose. And look at how cute that is. I am loving this. So next thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of ribbon here. And I am not a good bow maker, so I faux bow. And all I'm going to do is take one of these and tie a little knot. Just like that. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to tie it a little bit tighter, figure out how I want this to go. There we go. And then I'm going to end up taking my snips and cutting them at an angle. Just like that. And just like that. Now I'm going to take my thank you. I'm going to raise that up just a little bit because everything's flat. Although it does have some nice dimension, it's still flat. So I'm going to take a couple of these, 3 of them to be exact. And I'm going to take these guys off. Normally I use my take your pick tool, but I have my fingers right there right now. And now I'm going to put this right in between these octagons, just like this. And then I also put 3 of those so they will hold onto the card and also hold my ribbon down. And that is my card. Totally different from the floral suite, but it is part of that floral suite. So don't get stuck just seeing what, you know, because it's flowers, you don't have to make it just all about flowers. So if you want to make one of these cards on your own, I will have a tutorial on my blog, beautyandthestamper.com. I would love to have you follow that blog, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed already to my channel. It doesn't matter if you're from the United States or where you're from. You could always subscribe to my blog and my YouTube channel. If you want to be part of Stampin' Up, you're in the United States, feel free to reach out to me. If you are in one of the other countries, I will put the links down below to the other global hoppers, and you will be able to find them and sign up under them and become part of the Stampin' Up world. All right, beauties, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.